Welcome to the lava show, the only show in the world where you get to see real molten lava flowing safely and intentionally inside of a building. I'm Mariana, and I'm going to be your host for tonight. And before we get going, as the voice that you're going to be hearing for the next 20 minutes or so, I thought it would be nice to tell you a little bit about myself. So, as you can probably tell, both by my name and my accent, I'm not Icelandic. I'm actually Portuguese. So now you might be wondering, why would anyone in their right mind swap warm and sunny Portugal for cold and gloomy Iceland? And this all started about 4 years ago. I came to Iceland for the first time in 2021 to do an internship. And pretty much instantly, I fell in love with the country and its nature. And back then, I was also lucky enough to be able to see a volcano erupting. So I thought it was pretty cool, but I had to go back home, so I did. I finished my master's back in Portugal. I worked there for a couple of years, and then last year I got the chance to move here permanently because I had gotten a job in whale watching. I'm actually a marine biologist. But if you know anything about whale watching here in Iceland, you might know it is freezing cold most of the time. So even though the whales were pretty cool, the cold was a bit much for me. So when this job opened up, I thought, well, the volcano was pretty nice when I went to see it. And how many people in the world can say that they play with lava for a living, right? So I decided to apply. They took me in, so now I'm here. And now, instead of always being too cold, I'm always too warm. So we kind of came full circle there. But that's enough about me. That's not why you came here tonight. So the lava show was actually founded in 2018 by an Icelandic couple named Julius and Raga. And the main inspiration for the show came from a volcanic eruption that happened here in Iceland back in 2010. Does anyone remember that eruption? Yeah? Okay. Anyone wants to be brave and try to pronounce the name of the volcano that erupted? Fair enough. So the volcano that erupted back then is called Eyjafjallajökull. Yes, really Icelandic word. I say it really quickly, so no one has time to know if I'm mispronouncing it. But this volcano basically became famous for two different reasons. So first, its name. As you guys can imagine, when this really long Icelandic word popped up in teleprompters all over the world, journalists pretty much panicked because no one could pronounce it right. So the journalists were pretty quick at coming up with a nickname for the volcano and also pretty creative. So the nickname that they came up with was E15. So E was for the first letter, 15 was for all of the others that came after. The second reason why this volcano was so famous was because it created chaos in mainland Europe. If you guys remember, when it erupted, it created a huge ash cloud that covered all of Europe, and it made all of the airports there shut down for a few days. There was really just one airport that did not have to close down, and that was the Keflavik airport here in Iceland. So there you go. But the main inspiration for the show actually came about a month before this main eruption happened. So in the south coast of Iceland, there's actually two subglacial volcanoes. So there's Eyjafjallajökull and then there's Katla. And in between these two volcanoes, there is a ridgeline. And in this ridgeline, there is no ice and no glacier. So when the eruption first started there, the lava just flowed freely onto the ground, and it created what we call a tourist eruption. So it was an eruption that was relatively safe for everyone to go see, and that's exactly what Julius and Raga did. So they hiked up there, and what they saw was actually the biggest lava fall ever recorded in human history. It was about 200 meters tall, which is around 600 feet. And I know that throwing these numbers out there doesn't really give you a scale of the size. So has anyone here been to Skogafoss, the really big waterfall in the south coast? Okay. But for those of you that haven't been to Skogafoss, I'm pretty sure you've all seen the big church in downtown Reykjavik, right? So both the church and Skogafoss are about 60 to 70 meters tall, which is about 200 feet. So the lava fall that Julius and Raga saw back in 2010 was 3 times as big as the church in downtown Reykjavik. So you can imagine they were pretty amazed, pretty mesmerized by what they were seeing, and they thought, well, we want to share this with everyone. We want everyone to be able to experience lava, but they wanted to get rid of some of the dangers that a volcanic eruption might have, like, for example, toxic gases, ash clouds, or lightning. So after a lot of research and also a lot of talks with the fire department, they were finally able to open up the first lava show in a small town in the south coast of Iceland called Vik back in 2018. And then in 2022, they opened up this location here in Reykjavik. Now I'm going to explain to you a little bit about how the show is going to work. So it's basically divided into 3 parts. So first, there's an introduction, which, spoiler alert, I'm doing right now. And after this, I'm gonna step out of the room and we're gonna play a video for you guys. And the video is gonna go over a few different things. So first, it's gonna talk a little bit about the geology of Iceland. Then it's gonna go over some of the main eruptions that have happened here throughout history. And then finally, it's also gonna touch a little bit on what is going on right now in the Reykjanes Peninsula, because as some of you might know, we've been having a lot of volcanic activity here in Iceland. Since December 2023, we've had 9 volcanic eruptions. One of them just ended last month, and according to geologists, there's a 10th eruption coming soon. So anytime now, another eruption should start. So the video is also going to talk a little bit about that. After the video is done, that's when the fun part begins, in my humble opinion. So I'm going to be playing with lava so that you guys can see. So lava is going to come in through that hole in the wall over there, and when it comes in, it will be at about 1,100 Celsius, which is about 2,000 Fahrenheit. So the lava is going to come down this slide, and then here at the end, we have a block of ice. So when the lava goes over the ice, it will create a bunch of tiny little explosions that will look just like bubbles. And we put the ice here because most of the volcanoes here in Iceland are covered by either ice or a glacier, so we wanted to show you what happens when those two things interact with each other. Now, if you look here, this looks like regular black sand, but this is something else called basalt tephra. So this is all lava that erupted back in 1918 when Katla last erupted, so more than 100 years ago. So again, Katla is covered by a glacier, so when the lava touched the glacier, it exploded into these tiny little pieces, and then all of this was carried down to the coast by the glacial floods. So fun fact, last time Katla erupted, Iceland grew by about 5.5 kilometers. So most of the black sand deserts and black sand beaches that you see in the south coast of Iceland are actually made up of tephra. So we just get this from a farm about 15 minutes east of Vik. We bring it here, we throw this into our furnace, and that's how we get our lava. Now, in nature, there are actually 2 types of lava flow. So there's the A'a lava flow, and then there's the Pahoihoi lava flow. And yes, I know, it sounds like I'm making up these words as I go. I swear I'm not. These are actually Hawaiian terms, and they're the standard used in geology all over the world. So, A'a lava flow is a lava that is a bit rougher. It doesn't move as fast. Usually it's not as hot, and it has big chunks of rock in it. And then a Pahoihoi lava flow is what people usually think of when they think of a lava river. So it's lava that is really hot, super flowy, and super orange. And luckily for you guys, that's what you're gonna get here tonight. Now, before I leave the room, there's just a couple of safety things that I need to tell you about. So for those of you downstairs, when you came into the room, you found some safety glasses in your seats, right? Everybody has them. Okay, good. You don't need to put them on just yet. I swear the video is safe. But after I come back into the room, that's when you put on your glasses, and you need to leave them on until you leave the room at the end of the show. For those of you upstairs, you did not find any glasses. That's on purpose. You don't need them. But if at any point you want to stand up, feel free to. Just please be careful with those drinks. There's a lot of people down here, and trust me, there's a reason for me to say that. So just be careful, please. You can take as many pictures and videos as you want. Just please make sure that those flashes are turned off. The room is going to be pretty dark, so flashes can be quite distracting. And for some reason, if you take pictures of the lava with your flash on, the lava is going to come up as purple in your pictures. So when you go back home and you try to show your family and friends that you saw lava, no one is going to believe you. So keep those flashes off, please. Now, before I leave the room, there's just one guy that I need to introduce to you. He's our lava melter, and his name is Gabor. So let's give him a little round of applause. So you don't need to get jealous of him. I know it looks really fashionable right now, but this is an actual volcanologist suit. So Gabor is the one operating our furnace, and as you can imagine, it does get really, really hot back there. So this suit is super good at reflecting heat. So that's why he's wearing it. Now, if you look at the visor, it looks gold, and that is because it is actually gold plated. So gold is also really good at reflecting both light and heat. And this is the exact same type of visor that you would find in a spacesuit that an astronaut would wear. Now, Gabor, is the lava ready? Yes? Okay, thank you. So we're gonna step out of the room. I'm gonna play the video for you guys, and when I come back, I'll be playing with some lava. So see you in a bit. Thank you.
Thank you.